It's the morning show on K101. Joining us in studio. Are we ready? Are we done talking about Oklahoma State?
We've been talking family stuff.
Maybe one more concert will help fix everything.
We've been talking
I bet it'll
about...
wind up being 2 concerts. I'm going to go on record right now and say it'll be 2.
And tickets are already on sale for like Posse Club members.
Oh, okay. For Posse Club.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think in the club level, right?
Are we going to wait till time for the concert to announce who's playing? Or
No, they
were announced.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
See,
we did quarterbacks. I didn't know if we did.
Oh. There's a lot of oars.
Oars, yeah.
April the 11th, Saturday, I believe. So, and some of the pre-sales, the general public pre-sales is what, next week?
Next Friday.
So, anyway.
But on to
we need the money.
What we need to talk about today. Why we're really here.
We need to spend on offensive line and defensive line.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, I thought the play was pretty good. Oh, hey, in our studios this morning, obviously, according to some, a day late, but that's neither here nor there. The superintendent of High Plains Technology.
No according to some, CJ. That's the way it is.
Barclay Holt and Taylor Burnett. Taylor is the executive director of post-secondary strategic development. That sounds pretty important to me.
It is really important and important to what we're trying to do and the mission of where we're headed.
We'll talk about that, and Taylor, kind of tell us what's under that umbrella and integral part, key part of what goes on out there at 34th and Hanks Trail.
I would just say to start, and then Taylor can take off from there. But to start, it's an effort that we know that within, if you just take west of I-35 and north of I-40, our students, our kids out here, when they get done with high school, we don't have those 2-year institutions adjacent to us. We've never had, like, on the eastern side of the state, they've had OSU, Oklahoma Tech. Right. That's been stood up for eons, that those kids go in and do those trades that industry's working right with. And our effort, we've got a good funnel in terms of our TAP kids, our middle school, and our daytime. You've heard me talk about it before, CJ, that we are in the top tier of the state, the very top tier in terms of how many juniors and seniors come to us that are available to us out there. And hopefully if we build off of that, you've seen us do the CDL programs, the WIN program that Taylor and them started years ago has been very successful in our PN program. We would like to do more like that are specific to industries, plumbing, electrical, more specific welding, stuff like that. And Taylor has spent a lot of time on the business and industry side. He's had the chance to work with the existing training and WIN program heavily, also LPN and CDL, and just the timing of the Alexander donation, the building there, and that effort, we just felt like it was that time to make a shift with him. And it's been his. He reads a lot of books, a lot more than I do, and this is in Leadership 101 it talks about moving your cheese, and we moved Taylor's cheese over the hill to the new building, so that's what he's doing. But I'll let him kind of tell you about more of that.
He reads more than the OSU playbook.
There is one. Sorry.
Well, it looked like Casey Dunn last night, so revisited a little bit.
Taylor, thanks for being here as well, and when Barclay was kind of talking, and secondary, post-secondary, if you will, it just popped. Career Tech seems to be the best vehicle for that.
Well, I agree because of the hands-on learning aspect and the doing. Because, if you're built a little bit like myself and Barclay, that's the way you do learn with things. I mean, last night I was even talking to 3 youngsters that were working for OG&E. One of them went to lineman, one of them went to HVAC, and one of them went to a lineman class school as well, a 2-year institution. But it's those type of things that we have got to do a better job of keeping our youth in Northwest Oklahoma. Because if we don't, we're going to slow. Rural Oklahoma's a little bit under attack. I say that all the time. And if we don't take care of our own, they're going to have opportunities. Because listen, younger kids, let's be really real about it. They want to go live in the bigger cities. They want to go, kind of thrive. But if we give them an opportunity,
because they think there's fun stuff to do.
Exactly, and there's not. And then they want to move back when they want to raise family and things. Yep. But if we give them an opportunity at an earlier age and show them the traction and show them the path, then we can do a lot better. And then that's the way that we really thrive out here. I mean, and it's all of Northwest Oklahoma. As long as they're staying in Northwest Oklahoma, I think that's a win for everybody. And it's good. I mean, and that's how things grow. Yeah.
And Career Tech is structured, and we talk about that's the perfect vehicle or venue to make all this happen. Why is that? Why is Career Tech positioned?
I'll let Barclay, because I might go off on a wrong tangent. I'm going to let Barclay do the PC thing.
I think there's a little bit of, we are positioned to do it, but the recognition of that that the dollars and financing and like that at the state to follow it sometimes doesn't align with that, and that's what I was going to talk about is, a little bit of Taylor's mission as well will be to work on that, and CJ, like you say, we're positioned to do it. Locally, I think we have I got a text from a business yesterday, just talking about our CDL and they have an employee because of it, and it's working for them, and thank you for what we're tapping on there and doing. But I think if you look at it from the state standpoint and sometimes put money where their mouth is that that money doesn't track that way. And so instead of waiting on that to come to us through a post-secondary route, part of Taylor's mission is going to be to go after that and work on some of the grants and some of those opportunities that are out there that, I hate to say it, but we always seem to take care of ourselves out here, and part of that is Taylor taking care of that and pursuing of those funding resources that might be there.
Is that a function of educating the legislature, or
absolutely
they're good folks, obviously, and we're not talking about our guys here.
No,
58, 59, 61, and Paskowski, Dobrinsky, and Newton. It's those other folks.
Exactly. Those guys get it, and quite frankly, when you talk to the other 100 of them, they will look you in the eye and say they understand it. I mean, they get it. They know that's where where our kids are going to leave. Me and Taylor say train and retain them. That are going to come right back to us. They understand it, but a lot of times in the that deal that they do down there for 4 months, it gets lost. And I don't know how you do it, but we're going to attack. We're going to look at it. We're going to work with them. We're going to try to help support our legislators and senators that are doing. I mean, Casey and that's something people probably don't understand all the time. Casey represents 8 or 9, 10 county seats.
Sure.
I mean, it's just a massive landmass for him to do out here, and he's won. Whereas in Oklahoma City, there's 10 senators in the Metroplex. So we're hoping to let them help guide us and get this done, because really we kind of close off the Panhandle, and now we go all the way to Beaver County to Turpin. So you're talking about a spread of a couple of 2.5 hours across our district now. So
without being too specific in terms of where you want to be 1 year from now, 2, 3, 4 years, how do you get there? What do you have some long term goals?
We do.
Where you want to be?
We worked really hard, and part of this is we're fixing to open up. We broke ground on the diesel welding construction building that's helping going to help create some space in our building for other programs for high school kids. And then, just to be blunt, we've got a sketch drawing out there, a 5-year plan. We've called it a 10-year plan, and Taylor gives me a hard time that we try to do things in 2 years, pack 10 into 2, but our plan is to go out there on the land and where the building is that the Alexanders donated. We would like to have a post-secondary facility there that is strictly adult, that we could turn around in 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 15, 20 weeks, whatever those courses are, in and out and go to work. And I think that's just where the world's at.
How are we using that building now? The dedicated here several months ago.
That's
Bobby
where
and
Taylor's
okay.
at. It's where Taylor's at right now. That was a big part of this, is that we wanted to do something with it, and he's making some conference space in there for meeting stuff. His office is now down there. It's just this effort of post-secondary training, and this is the first step of it. We gave him that responsibility, and that's what he's working on as we speak.
As staff of one, it makes it the culture is really interesting. I could talk to myself however I want to, and sometimes I listen and talk back. So
he actually wins an argument every once in a while now,
without a doubt.
Yeah.
What can people do to help you? In terms of this part of the world, Woodward specifically, I think pretty aggressive in getting things done.
I think the understanding of what our kids face, why do we lose them? I mean, the reality is 70% of the kids are going to go into a trade of some sort. 30% are going to go to college. That's about the numbers. It's give or take 65, 35, 70, 30. We know that our communities are stood up more so by those that are making sure the toilets flush, electricity's at our houses are built, renovations are done.
Things that AI will never take the place of.
They will never take the place of in rural Oklahoma. So if we can fill that gap, I mean, Taylor's actually he's in November's going to a dirt conference, basically is what it is, and it's on heavy equipment, machine stuff, and that's a space that, I've talked to our contractors around here and construction people, and that's a space that, kids don't get exposure to running a bulldozer or a road grader or a track hoe, and we want to try to do those things.
And doing maintenance and prevention on their equipment.
Yep.
Well, this was in the Woodward News here earlier this week, a full page, news and updates, back to school. And there's like 18 guys that are in the your WIN program that's, I guess, ongoing, right?
Yes, they started in July, yes.
And every single one of those, and I guess they're all guys, I don't know.
There's one female.
Okay, but those folks are going to have a job at the end of that time, and a darn good job with excellent compensation, pay, benefits, so on and so forth. If the only reason that they wouldn't have one, if they don't want to move one place or the other or whatever, but the opportunities are there. And that's just one of many of those different areas that y'all are talking about.
And they go to work. I mean, they're going right to work. Our PN kids are going right to work in our area. Our CDL kids are being, whether they're helping grandpa and dad on the farm and they've got their Class A CDL for the rest of their life, or just as I said earlier, working for a business here in town. That's the jobs that we're going to retain. I mean, that's the ones that are going to stick around here. And so, it's take those three and then multiply it times 10, and that's kind of our vision. Is if we'd like to run 30 of those different kind of programs in a year.
And the thing that really drives us is we've seen those stories, we've seen those transformations, we've seen those people that have changed their lives forever, and they're in these careers. And if we focus on those few stories, how could we not want to be successful in what we're doing and going forward with this? And it's just anything we can do to help out the youth in our communities, man, it's a no-brainer.
And I think the other deal is like something that when we started the TAP program, it was really big on the why. Well, I think sometimes we forget that when they get to graduation in high school, they may still be looking for their why. Why do I want to go train for that next career? And really and truly, or how do I stick around here? Because the training seems like it's 3.5 hours away. We want to provide that here so that they don't get away and they can continue to fish in the same ponds they grew up fishing in and hunt on the same land they hunted on. That's our goals. So.
On that same edition, the update page in the Woodward News, a picture of your entire staff, and you were at the bombing memorial. Picture, obviously, and this is radio, so pictures don't show up very well.
Thank goodness.
But, and then this thought occurs to me as I was looking at that. Really, no organization is better than the people that make up that organization. And I think from a personal standpoint, I've been working for about 40 years at the Chamber for 25 years or so. And I see firsthand, basically on a daily, weekly basis, however you want it, the quality of people that are employed at the High Plains Technology Center. Guys, that's a ton of folks. Look at that.
There's 62 of them now. When I started, we were in the 40s somewhere, and now we're at 62. And I mean, obviously, Beaver County has been a huge deal to that. We've got 7 or 8 out there now, and just it's kind of evolved amongst itself. But that bombing deal was such a we try to find an in service that all of our staff can participate in that has some meaning and a takeaway to start the year. And when Taylor and I went down, that idea came up. We went down and toured that deal and talked to the guy named Steven down there that runs the educational component to it. Just amazing, and probably honestly as impressed as Taylor and I were, and we had no idea this existed really. when we took the staff down there, it was probably doubly as good as it was when we viewed it on the onset. So anyway, that was a very, very good thing for our staff, and that's something that I'd encourage people just in our area, if you haven't been through that thing and gone and seen. I had staff that had worked down there during the recovery and all that. They had not been back to that site in since that time 30 years ago, and those stories are just endless, and it's just quite the venue.
You know, I misspoke a while ago. I said that they're at 34th and Hanks Trail. That's not necessarily true. And you just mentioned Beaver. Kind of bring us up to speed on facility-wise and staff-wise and what you're doing in Beaver County, because that is huge.
Very fluid. We've done lots of remodeling and renovation out there. We did get started. We added a construction welding program. That's a mixed program. That's kind of a novel thought for our state department, but if you get it started and don't ask permission first, you can get forgiveness later. But we kind of do those things, and then we started a health careers program out there, and then a BMIT, business information program. Those are the full times there, and then we have TAP in every school, which is, kudos to this is something that people don't even understand really unless you live in my world. But I just punched some numbers yesterday, and we operate on about a 42%, 43% overall sending rate. I talked about that earlier of our juniors and seniors.
Okay.
And Beaver County in their first year is at 42.5%. I figured that up yesterday, which is amazing.
Did you use a calculator?
I had to use a calculator.
All right.
I was doing that instead of being here. I was doing some numbers, but anyway,
that's why it took so long.
That's the reason it took so long. I was doing it. I had to refigure it. But anyway,
Aggie math.
It's really a testament not only to what we've done here at High Plains for 40 years, but then Beaver County coming in and the way they have initiated that from the ground up, and the way their families and kids have just bought into it.
So, well, we need to let you get out of here. It's approaching 8 o'clock. Let you get to work. But received this yesterday. The TAP Olympics is forthcoming here next week, and what a deal! It's a part of, if you will, of the Woodward County Free Fair, and it is next Thursday, underway about 8 o'clock in the morning. The finals are that afternoon. And it says, join us in supporting High Plains TAP students at the TAP Olympics. And doggone it, we
did that last week.
You should join.
Last week we did that
yes.
at the Beaver County Fair, and all those kids participated out there from each of those schools. And that was funny because people come up to me, some that I know out there, and they're like, what is TAP Olympics? And they showed up to see what TAP Olympics was. So anyway, cool deal.
Well, that's next Thursday here in Woodward, part of the Woodward County Free Fair. Guys, Taylor, Barclay, congratulations for what you've done, and even for what's in the foreseeable future. We're excited, obviously, and everybody should be for that matter, in terms of what you're going to do, not only for young people, but those, I guess, young adults or whatever, as they pursue those career paths. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, CJ. Appreciate you guys.